guys, we're going to be doing test hands for Pure Lair of Darkness here. The whole purpose of test hands is really just to show you the flaws with the deck, whether or not it's consistent, and yes, I basically pile shuffled it already to save us some time, so we're just going to quickly shuffle the rest of the deck up a few times, and we'll go a few turns going first, a few turns going second, just to show off what the deck actually will draw into, and you know, by that, depending on what we draw into, you'll have my own thoughts on it as well as your own thoughts, and with that it's different perspectives, so it gives a different idea of how the deck should be played. As a result, you guys can also modify it to your liking as well. So let's begin. Get a few cuts here and draw first 5 cards. Alright, so ever since the deck profile, I did do a few modifications myself. I added in torrential tributes. I think they're definitely a really fun thing to add in. So right now, really interesting hand. Obviously, Monster Reborn and Dark Hole is, you know, different things you could do with it. But overall, we do have a Lilith, which is definitely quite nice here. So yeah, perhaps we'll start that off by going for Lilith, tributing herself. And this will allow us to set 3 different traps. So at this point we already have torrential, so we got to think, what else do we actually want here? Perhaps we'll go for a Lost Wind. We'll also go for maybe a Virus, because I think that's definitely a good start for any deck. And you definitely do not want to set Ferret Flames, nor do you want to set Confusion Shaft. They're cards that you actually want to keep your opponents from actually finding out you're playing until they actually encounter these. So if anything, I would recommend another Virus, perhaps maybe even Full Force. Of course, you can also take in multiple copies of Eradicator as well if you want. What am I doing? You don't need to shuffle that, but basically we just mix these about and we randomly just pick one, and let's just say it's Eradicator, the rest get shuffled back into the deck. And let's see, what else can we do? So we have this set, we can set Torrential, and if you want, you could actually just Monster Reborn the Lilith back again. And the good thing about this is that she's now 2000 attack, so she doesn't have that drawback from when she's normal summon. As a result, you can't activate Eradicator because it requires 2500, but it does give you kind of a wall there. Or you can not use this and instead you'll have a Torrential to keep you safe. But overall, it's a weaker start. It would actually be a lot better if we were actually going second for this particular hand. But let's actually try again and see what happens there. This is interesting. Definitely good setups here. We have Arima, and we could actually get out Lair of Darkness, and it actually looks pretty good. I think we'll discard Arima, right, and we'll add our Lair of Darkness to the hand. We'll activate Lair of Darkness, and we'll also shuffle our decks, because I'm actually planning to draw some cards now. Okay, so we'll shuffle up our deck, give a cut, and I'm going to Monster Reborn, bring back Arima, using its effect to tribute himself to draw a card. That's very interesting, but we don't have to set both of them. We'll set Torrential, and we'll set the Ferret Flames, and you could set Eradicator as well. Yeah, why not? Go for it. And from there, at the end phase, Lair of Darkness will give us a free token. Now, the thing is this, you have pretty much 4 cards on the field here like this. There is potential that your opponent could activate a Twin Twisters, but you know, that's kind of the downsides or kind of the risks of actually playing a Lair of Darkness deck here, because you're obviously going to have these vulnerabilities like that. So you got to go all in and do what you can, but since you already have 2 Ferret Flames, you can keep one of them in the hand. Now, you could actually not set the other Ferret Flames as well, because Ferret Flames requires you to have very low damage to be effective. But the thing is this, these days, there's so many decks that can actually just do OTKs. I think it's definitely worth just setting down that Ferret Flames, even though they might destroy it and find out about your so-called plan with this deck. Excellent. Alright, this is really great actually. So right off the bat, Lair of Darkness. Very interesting here because I actually kind of want to activate Curry Bandit as well, and we also have Lilith and Arima. So I don't know, it's quite tempting here because we have 3 different choices, but you know, I think I'll go for Curry Bandit. I want to mill out my deck as much as possible, and hopefully we can mill out our Diablos, but we can also set Eradicator as well. And during the end phase, since we're tributing Curry Bandit, we could also activate Lair of Darkness's effect as well, so that'll definitely be quite nice. Now you could activate Arima to search out another Lair of Darkness, but I think I'd rather just save it for now. Same thing applies for Lilith as well. So during the end phase, you'll tribute him off, and let's mill 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's pretty awful. You can add one of the excavated spells to your hand, but spell or traps, but overall everything else gets shuffled back, which is quite unfortunate. I don't mind actually getting a Lure of Darkness because we actually already have 2 dark monsters on the field, on the hand actually. So yeah, I think I'll go for that, and we'll get a token off Lair of Darkness. As you can see, we're rarely even having any close hints to using the extra deck at all. So let's see, 6 cards. This is actually a lot better for a first turn hand. This is insanely good. Let's go with a trade-in and get rid of the Kaiju Radiant and draw 2. We got Lilith, pretty nice as well. Very interesting here because I could actually just normal summon Lilith and tribute herself off, and we'll choose 3 different trap cards now. What can we actually go for here? I'll actually go for a Torrential, just because. So Torrential, what else can we go for here? Maybe Deck Devastation Virus to make them a bit scared, and maybe a Full Force Virus. I think that will definitely be a good start for now, so we'll just randomly shuffle these up, and obviously I could see it right here through the camera, but you know, shuffle back everything else, and we could basically set 5 right here. This will definitely frighten your opponent from actually doing anything to you, and they definitely can't really do much against you anyway, so they'll be a lot more cautious with their plays. As a result, by being a little cautious, even just the slightest, your plays will actually slightly be different in an actual game. So with that, you're kind of actually putting in a bit of fear on your opponent so that they don't actually go all out and make reckless plays, even though that could actually potentially just kill you off. But you do have Lost Wind and Confusion Shaft as well, and you have these 3, so overall, even if your opponent has something that will destroy your spells and traps, I doubt they would actually be able to target any of these 2, which will keep you safe. But we also have any of these other ones as well. Let's draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very nice. Firstly, let's go trade in, get rid of 1 Diablos, and draw 2. Lair of Darkness, nice. And a Curry Bandit as well. Wow, this is actually quite nice. Firstly, we'll activate Lair of Darkness, but we overall have quite a few options we can actually do here. I mean, we could use Lilith's effect, get a trap by tributing herself. Diablos will summon itself, and then I guess what you could do is Monster Reborn the other one and overlay for rank 8 like a Hope Harbinger. But overall, it's a bit excessive and it's going to cost you quite a bit. But Curry Bandit does look like a really nice choice here, so perhaps I'll go Curry Bandit, because we're going to get a token regardless anyway. It's just, do you want a trap card, or would you rather have a mill 5? I think I'd rather just set up my grave by milling 5 instead. So summon Curry Bandit, tribute it off at the end phase. Let's excavate 5. It's not really mill, it's you're excavating, but you get to add a spell trap to your hand anyway. Very interesting. So we get to, maybe I'll go for a Lure of Darkness. I think that's okay. You don't want trap cards at this point because you are going second. So yeah, not bad at all. But keep in mind, you are going second here, so Kuru Bandit could actually attack. So since you are going second, what you could have actually done was go for Lilith instead, tribute her off, and then you can bring out Diablos either from the grave or anything like that. And you could probably deal some bigger damage. Actually, you could either tribute off Lilith, bring out Diablos, and then from the hand through his own effect, and then you can Monster Reborn the other Diablos and attack for like 6k, so that's definitely quite nice there. I think that would definitely be a slightly better move, and that way with Lilith as well, you also have one of the Virus Traps set ready to, you know, tribute off your own Diablos, which will hurt your opponent next turn, so I think that's a lot better there. That was definitely a more efficient play, so yeah, it just depends what you do. Hopefully this video isn't too long at the moment. Probably say it would be maybe less than 15 minutes, I hope. Maybe a little over. That's okay. We'll just go with 6 cards again. Okay, so this one, Lair of Darkness, but we can tribute off our opponent's card, give them a Radiant. If there's any big Thunder Dragon monsters, that's just pesky to deal with. But you know what? What's cool? We actually have a Full Force Virus, so... and Lair of Darkness on the field, so we could actually utilize the two of these really well against our opponents. We also have Confusion Shaft and Ferret Flames to combo off really well as well, and we have a Torrential Tribute. Surprisingly, although this hand might be better as a first turn hand, with Radiant to give to your opponent, it's quite nice because... you actually gain your own target for a Full Force Virus, so it's not bad at all, so things could actually go pretty well here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this test hand video. You know, most of my decks, I do better going second, because drawing that 6 card somehow just makes my hand significantly better, and first turn just, I don't know, I've never had really good luck with first hands, but... as an overall, I wasn't too particularly disappointed in any of these opening hands. I definitely thought that some of them were pretty good. I think the second test hand was really, really good, and the one we just did as well was quite nice. But tell me what you guys actually thought about this, and give me some suggestions as well as to how you would change the deck up. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.